The first rule as a hitter is to keep your eye on the ball. The first rule as a dribbler when you're playing basketball is to keep your head up so you can see the whole field. And the first rule of leadership is leaders lead. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. And I must go back to being mentored myself on the art of leadership, the science of leadership. The two are connected. There's a science and an art to it. From my major mentor in this subject, Mr. Bob Anderson. And he always would say, Eli's dad, don't forget, leaders lead. And he had that sign put up in all of our offices so that we wouldn't forget. What does leaders lead really mean? Well, Mr. Anderson used to say leaders lead in production, they lead in attitude, and they lead in inspiration. And for those, this is a personal development channel. And leadership, of course, is something that comes up when you're talking about personal development. It's a big part of it, of course. My point is that if ever there was a time when you can see that leadership is everything, isn't now that time? When we look around the world and we see all of the countries that were in exactly the same place that we were in late January, February, March, and then we compare where they are now, where we are now, you say to yourself, I guess leadership matters, because it really, really does. And I'm not just talking, and I'm using this example for you, not just in the scope of, national politics or national outcomes. I'm using this in the scope of little things. Leadership matters in a family. Leadership matters in the schoolroom. You can remember when you were in school and you had the same class of kids, and you'd have one class where the teacher, the leader, she didn't put up with any bunk whatsoever. The class was quiet, learning went on, there was a discipline, there was a certain expectation. And then these very same kids, when bell rings would go to a different class, and what happened in that class? Everybody got inspired to fool around, waste time, do it. So I want you to recognize that leadership is something that's critical in all aspects of life, in all walks of life. I'm speaking to the secular and the non-secular. It's easy to see there are certain churches, denominations where leadership has come to the front and people are united. Team play is under the heading of inspiration as far as leadership is concerned. It's critical that you get your masses to act as a unit, to act as a team, to have a particular direction, a particular goal, objective, desire. That's a key thing. That doesn't necessarily have to come from the leader, but the leader has to inspire that. And another point that's critical to make. People frequently confuse leadership with position. It's not the case. There are some scenarios where somebody that's not given a title is certainly a leader, and I'm sure you can think of those scenarios in the workplace, on the ball field, socially speaking, even in your own homes, where there's certain people that just have that leadership capability, they have that charisma, they have that ability to unite people to a particular endeavor, to get the job done. So my point here is leadership is everything, and it's critical that we remember the basics of leadership. Number one, leaders lead. They lead. They lead by example. Leadership Leaders lead in attitude. They have a positive attitude. They see the glass as half full, not half empty. They lead in production. They lead in getting the job done. They are out there in the field with the troops, getting the job done. And most importantly, they lead in inspiration / teamwork to unite everybody so that we can take a step forward together instead of having 50 different people. Someone's stepping forward, someone's stepping to the right, someone's taking a step backwards, and someone's taking a step to the left. There has to be an inspiration, a vision, a goal, a dream that's right out there that people can see under the heading of inspiration and getting people to work as an effective team. You see it all the time in sports. You see it all the time in your top companies, your Apples as an example, where, people just have independent ideas, but they bring it to the team. They're focused on the team. And most importantly, the leader is there to serve, not to be served. So the leader must be in a position to listen to opposing viewpoints, to understand the mindset of the masses. Now, you don't always, sometimes you have to take the matter into your own hand because the mindset can be, I don't know, how's the word skewed sound? But remember, leaders lead all the time. All the time. When I was living in the house with Bob Anderson and his wife, he was always the leader, even in social situations. It was subtle, but leaders are always leading. And they lead in attitude, they lead in production, and they lead in inspiration. So focus on the importance of leadership, and if you have that leadership bone in your body, work on it, because we are starving for leaders right now at the present time in the present place. And because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's get out there and lead in the right direction. Let's get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.